Al-Islam is a religion of mercy, is a religion of goodness, religion of fairness, religion of improvement, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us of those who preach it and practice it, and I say that and I seek the forgiveness of Allah.
Okay, we're going to take I have one question here which actually in it covers a lot of other questions that have come, so inshallah hopefully this will be beneficial to all. There are some brothers who want an explanation on the issue of jihad. The Salafis say there is no jihad today, and the jihadis or takfiris say there is jihad and they are willing to do it. So what proof or evidence does the Salafi have to say that there is no jihad, and what proofs do the others have to say that there is jihad? What are their evidences? Could you please explain, Sheikh? Advise the brothers by explaining this issue, because they do not know where to go or who to follow. We call them and they call us. So please make it clear for us all.
This question, and just to remind you, the question was regarding jihad and the correct concept of jihad and the difference that the Salafis have with the likes of the jihadis and the takfiris, and the fact that they say, certain people, that the Salafis say there is no jihad. This question is good and important and beneficial. And we shall base it upon the answer to that must be based upon the correct understanding of the reality. Let us have a look at the reality, what goes on and what some people do. Some Muslims, they consider blowing up a plane or a car or a bus full of passengers to be from jihad. We consider it to be from fasad, from corruption in the earth and in the land. So therefore we differ with those people in the actual understanding of jihad. And these people, they feel pleasure and they rejoice when those kinds of acts happen, even from people whom they differ with. They may have a different idea in how that should be conducted, or when that act should happen, but when it happens, even though they differ with them, they rejoice. And I remember when September 11 happened, I was in America on the 6th of September 2001. Few days, 5 days before the September 11. And when I returned back home to Egypt, to Cairo, there was a need to repair the tires of the car, and I went to repair them, and then suddenly there is some noise and commotion and people saying Allahu Akbar and looking and watching the television set and saying things. And also on the same day, my son was supposed to go and pick up a book from his friend, and my wife went with him to meet with the mother of his friend, and they went up to the building and they took the books, and suddenly they tell me, have you heard the news? Or there is something important that happened, or something that has happened. And what is that? America or the US got hit. They have had a strike, they have been hit, and my children and wife are rejoicing. And I am not rejoicing. I feel sad that those people who are working in the trade center paid for that with their lives. Whoever did it. Any Muslim who understands Islam correctly will not rejoice at that and will not feel happy. On the contrary, a Muslim who correctly understands our religion will feel sad. He will feel sad and concerned. I indeed rejoiced when, after the long and prolonged Cold War, America had the upper hand over the USSR. And I considered it to be a victory for Allah's religion. Some of you may find it strange to hear that, but we have proof for that. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Rum, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that Rome has been defeated. In the far place or far away, and they shall triumph again. In a like a low point. نعم جزاكم الله. أي نعم. ضد الارتفاع.
أي نعم. بارك الله. البقعة التي حصلت فيها المعركة هي أخذ بقعة في فتح الأرض.
بارك الله فيك. That Rome got defeated at the lowest or low point in the world, or low point in that place, and they shall triumph again after a few years. And to Allah belongs the affair from before and after, and the believers on that day shall rejoice at the victory of Allah. And Rome and their opponents over whom they triumphed, the Persians, they were both disbelievers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called the triumph of Rome over their non-Muslim opponents Nasrullah, the victory of Allah, at which the believers will rejoice. So therefore there is nothing wrong in rejoicing when America actually, not literally, but after the Cold War, which they called the Cold War, defeated the USSR and it broke up. Because the Communist Party, they monopolized everything. They gave these nice ideas to the people that they're the working class, they're the privileged people, because they're working for them. And they used to amass tremendous wealth. They used to have accounts full of money. So therefore they used to discriminate against their own people. They used to discriminate against the Muslims. And these things were lifted from the people who used to live in the former Soviet Union or the USSR, and a lot of these shackles were removed from them. And the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum did not love the Romans. So that does not mean that we love, I'm saying that because I love America. That has to be understood correctly. The Sahaba radiyallahu anhum did not love the Romans. That the reason that they were rejoicing was that the Romans were the people of the scripture. They were from the people of the book, whereas the Persians, they were idolaters. That was the reason for them rejoicing. And of course I don't say that loving America, but rather for the sake of the religion and for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm not talking about who may have committed those acts of terrorism. We're not saying, some people may say, we don't even know if it's Muslims or non-Muslims. The actual fact that they were committed and innocent people died and buildings or other things were damaged and destroyed already should make us sad. Whereas we see some Muslims rejoicing and laughing and saying Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, and such like. And I was even told that some of the rulers or princes actually prepared himself and danced, and I don't think that's true. Because I think they are smarter than that to go down to that level. And whoever says that the Salafis say there is no jihad, he's a liar. Whoever says that the Salafis say there is no jihad, he's a liar. Now I'm in front of you talking to you, I'm doing jihad. And this jihad is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the jihad of the sword. And it is called a great jihad. What proof do I have for that? The fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam in Mecca, because Surah Al-Furqan was revealed in the Meccan period. When we say Meccan period, before he migrated alayhi salatu wasalam to Medina. And everyone